everybody, and welcome to another edition of Shooting the Shit with Yankee. As always, I'm Yankee, so let's start shooting. Today, I want to know, do you boycott any gun manufacturers or maybe gun retailers? Is there anyone you won't buy guns from for one reason or another, and why? And if you don't boycott any gun manufacturer, retailer, distributor, whatever, why not? Do you feel that some people are too tough on some companies for things done by previous management or whatever? Just let me know. Do you boycott any? If so, why? And if you think that you shouldn't boycott any, or there's certain ones that get boycotted and it's kind of silly, let me know. I'll start off right now, and I think everyone knows I don't like to buy Turkish guns. That's pretty much my only big thing. I also won't buy Springfield if I can help it. So, I mean, even though I like some of their guns and think some of their stuff is very nice, won't do it. Unless I can find it used, I ain't buying it. And the reason I hold Springfield accountable is because of what they did was so heinous. And the guy who did it is still the owner of Springfield Armory. They didn't change. You know, he fired some token, firings to make it look like he was doing something, but he's the one responsible for what happened. No one can believe that his, lobbyist was just with a free rein spending tens of thousands of dollars and, he didn't even know what he was doing. No, that's crap. You'd have to be pretty stupid to believe that. And the same guy that did that sold you down the river and every other gun manufacturer and retailer in the state of Illinois, sold them down the river for special treatment. He's still in charge of that company. So I won't buy a new thing from him. So that's basically my big boycott. Also, I won't buy anything from Kel-Tec, but that's because they're crap. If anyone ever came out that wasn't crap, I'd buy it. It's just that it's crap. But let me see what you all think. I'm going to go over here, see who's weighing in and what they got to say. Dale Riggity. Yes, I boycott Springfield, but still want a Ronin. I understand that pain. I boycott them also, but there's still guns they make I'd like to have. Especially some of those, I think they make some 10mm 1911s I'd like to have. Gummy Wuzzle. No, a boycott is nothing without unity. I prefer a last resort list for companies I don't like. You can expect capitalism, you can't expect capitalists not to capitalism. Yeah, I can expect them to have some integrity, though. And if they don't have integrity, I can choose not to deal with them anymore. Sean Bane. No, I buy useful. I don't know what that means. I buy useful. I guess that means if he wants it, he buys it. That's the only thing I can think there. But I don't know. Don't know for sure. Well, I don't know much for sure. Ramon D1776 just said all hail Phil, and that's a good reminder to everybody out there. All hail Phil, and pay your Phil tithe, you worthless heathens. So many of you aren't. Micah D said, I don't tell people to boycott, but if you feel that strongly, speak with your money. Don't spend with them. I agree 100%. I don't really stage a boycott, but I'm got no problem with sharing your experiences with a company, saying why you won't buy from them, and then let other people make their own decision. Is that something that bothers them? If it doesn't bother them, it's like people say, I'm sorry, I bought a Springfield. I'm like, don't be sorry. I don't care if you buy Springfield. I'm just not going to buy from them. You buy from them, that's fine. I don't care. I don't fault you for it. Edgar Cortez. I have not had fire in the belly to boycott any gun manufacturers. Well, you need to get fire in the belly. But I mean, other than just, acid reflux. That would be more in the esophagus. Maybe an ulcer would be fire in the belly. I used to have an ulcer. Oh, it wasn't fun. Got it when I was in the military. And it kind of went away after I got out of the military. So stress does play a big part in that. He's an MD. He knows that. I'm not telling him nothing he don't know. Sparks 68. High Point. A dice roll on whether or not it works when you pull the trigger. I don't agree with that. And they randomly disassemble themselves at high speed. Never seen it happen. I don't know if you're confusing high tech with Kel-Tec. High Point with Kel-Tec. What did I say? High tech, I combined them together. Ooh, that wouldn't be good. If you combined Kel-Tec and High Point together and you took the looks of High Point and the quality of Kel-Tec, ooh, wouldn't that be a nightmare? Paul B. Better to support the ones I like than to boycott. Well, that's kind of a boycott, though. If you decide you're not spending your money with them, you take your money to someone else. That's a personal boycott. Unless, of course, you're like, well, unless they produce something I want, then I'll get it. Then it's not as much a boycott as it is just I'd rather not. You know, there's a big difference between I will never and I'd rather not. A lot of things I would rather not do, but I ain't gonna say I ain't never, because you never know how much money you're gonna get offered. Ghost Shadow said Smith & Wesson, they refuse to honor warranty. New Springfield for supporting anti-gun laws. Then Silencer Shop for lobbying against Pro 2A laws. Yes, screw Silencer Shop, screw Springfield Armory, and Smith & Wesson has pissed me off multiple times too. Dale Riggity, I also boycott Lone Wolf as they would not send me gun parts because Washington State was doing goofy things. They said screw them like 2 years ago. That's what I always said online. I say online, and I've said that before recently in a video. If you're a gun manufacturer or a product manufacturer and states have some screwy laws, well, just take the time to familiarize yourself with the laws. Because when you don't and you just say screw the whole state, well, you're screwing the pro 2A people, not the anti 2A people. In fact, you're giving the anti 2As exactly what they want. They don't want people in their state getting stuff. And if you still provide them the stuff you can legally provide them, that pisses off the anti 2Ers. So I say, learn the laws. There ain't that many. I mean, if you're a business that sells to all 50 states, learn the restrictions. You'll find there's very few states that have any serious restrictions, and still send what you can to help out the pro 2A people. Tattooed Fucker used his 11 or 14-month WAP chat to say, yes, Springfield Armory. And we all know why. Yes, we do all know why. Well, most of us know why. Every now and then someone will occasionally say, why are we boycotting Springfield Armory? And we'll have to tell them why. Tell them why. Mr. Furley says, yes, cheaper than dirt. $50 PMags after Sandy Hook. Well, one of the reasons I won't shop with cheaper than dirt is not only did they profiteer after Sandy Hook, but everything that they had that was in the process of going out and even been shipped to people, they issued return tickets for. Like if you bought an AK from them and it was still on the truck, well, they issued a return ticket for it so that they didn't get delivered to wherever they were going. They got brought back to the company, and then the company canceled your order and resold it at 2-3 times the price. So that was what got me. That's what pissed me off. I remember when that was going on, I remember talking to some UPS drivers to see if that's possible and talking to some people who had that happen to them. And yes, it happened. We got a couple more people weighing in here and then we are done. Spark 68 got in on time tonight and said, Glock, because they're striker fired Tupperware guns. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't like striker fired either. So I can understand someone saying, I'm not buying from a company that just makes striker fired guns. It's like someone in my video today when I was talking about, the fact that you're defending Springfield, or defending the P320, but you admit you won't carry one means everything you're saying is suspect. I'm like, how does that work out logically? It doesn't work out at all because I'm clear about why I won't carry one. I don't like striker fired guns. Don't trust myself with a really light trigger. That doesn't mean they shouldn't exist. So you're so used to people who think that my way is the only way that you can't understand that that's not the right way to be. Practical Bacon says Springfield and Dick's Sporting Goods. Well, Dick's, I wouldn't do anything with Dick's anyway. They really, we're not selling guns anymore. Any more gun stuff. So fuck them. Not like I went to them before anyway to buy anything. I wouldn't have. So screw them once they started really jumping on the anti-gun wagon. I don't think anybody went there to buy guns. That's why they were so quick to, when public sentiment was against guns back at Sandy Hook, they were very quick to say, we won't have anything to do with guns. No one will get a gun from us because it's a tiny percentage of the business. That's why I tell these people who say, I buy all my guns from Gander Mountain. or, all those things. I'm like, well, you shouldn't, because if that becomes the only gun shop in your town and sentiment goes strongly anti-gun again, like something like Sandy Hook happens again, well, they'll drop guns in a minute because it makes up like 3% of their store's earnings, and they're not going to lose the 20% of their store earnings that they make on footwear from the local hikers if they get offended by the fact you're still selling guns. They'll sacrifice guns in a minute. So I don't think that's a good thing to do. But there you go. There's some people that boycott stuff and don't boycott stuff. I don't. There was no like super consensus there, except that nobody should buy from Springfield Armory. I think that was the main takeaway of this. Don't buy from Springfield Armory. But buy what you want if you need it. I mean, if it's the best gun for you, get it. Don't feel bad, because when it comes to defending your life, you go with what's best for you. You don't let politics make the decision for you, or anti-capitalism or anything like that. So that's it for us today. How about you all out there in YouTube land? Is there any gun manufacturer, retailer, etc. that you boycott? Let us know in the comment section below and why. I hope to hear from you soon. If you want to weigh in on one of these topics in person, come to one of our live chats. We do them every night at 6 p.m. So hope to see you at one soon. Everybody else, thanks for weighing in, and I will see y'all again tomorrow. Excuse me, cauliflower. I will see y'all again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.